story, The Fox and the Elephant. The fox and the elephant. There lived a huge elephant in a dense jungle. He was cruel and arrogant by nature. He roamed freely in the jungle, pulling down small trees and branches. Those animals who lived in the trees were very much afraid of this elephant. When he pulled down the trees and tore off the branches, many nests with eggs and nestlings came down crashing on the ground and got destroyed. His movement in the jungle created an all-round havoc. Even the tigers and lions kept themselves at a safe distance from this rogue. In his ruthless march in the jungle, many holes of the foxes were trampled. This led to dissatisfaction among the foxes and among the other animals alike. Many of them wanted to kill the elephant. But this task was very difficult because of his huge size. "He is so huge," said the foxes amongst themselves. "It's nearly impossible to kill him." Then a meeting of all the foxes was called. In the meeting, this rather impossible task was assigned to a very cunning fox to perform. The fox, before executing his plan, studied the elephant's behavior for many days. One day, the fox went to meet the elephant and said to him, "Your Highness, it's urgent to talk to you. It's a matter of life and death for us." The elephant trumpeted at his highest pitch and asked, "Who are you and why do you want to see me?" "Your Highness," said the fox, "I'm the representative of the whole of the animal community. We want to make you our supreme head, the king. Kindly accept our offer." The elephant lifted his trunk with great pride and asked for details. The fox further explained, "I've come to take you with me. The coronation ceremony will take place in the middle of the jungle, where thousands of animals have already gathered and are chanting holy mantras." The elephant was very glad to hear this. He had always cherished a dream to become a king. He thought that the coronation ceremony will be a matter of pride to him. He readied himself hurriedly to accompany the fox to the deep jungle. "Come, Your Highness," said the fox. "Follow me." The fox led the elephant to some imaginary spot of ceremony. On their way, they had to walk through a swampy area by the side of a pond. The fox, being light-bodied, crossed the small swampy patch without any difficulty. The elephant too walked on it, but being heavily built, he got stuck into the swamp. The more he tried to come out of the swamp, the more he went deep into it. He became scared and called out the fox, "Dear friend, please help me. I'm sinking in the mud. What'll happen to my coronation now? Call your other friends also to help me. I'm not going to save you, said the fox. You deserved this treatment. You know how cruel you have been to other animals and alone. You pulled down branches of trees mercilessly, without caring for the eggs and for the lives of the nestlings. You knew everything, but remained indifferent. You trampled upon the burrows of the foxes. You saw our siblings being crushed under your heavy feet. You saw us crying, begging for mercy, but nothing bothered you. And now you are begging for your life. I am sorry to tell you that though your coronation couldn't take place, but your cremation will definitely take place. And the fox left. The elephant couldn't come out of the swamp and died there. Story: The Four Friends and the Hunter. Long, long ago, there lived three friends in a jungle. They were a deer, a crow and a mouse. They used to share their meals together. One day, a turtle came to them and said, I also want to join your company and become your friend. I'm all alone. You're most welcome, said the crow. But what about your personal safety? There are many hunters around. They visit this jungle regularly. Suppose a hunter comes, how will you save yourself? That is the reason why I want to join your group, said the turtle. No sooner had they talked about it than a hunter appeared on the scene. Seeing the hunter, the deer darted away, the crow flew in the sky and the mouse ran into a hole. The turtle tried to crawl away fast, but he was caught by the hunter. The hunter tied him up in the net. He was sad to lose the deer. But he thought it was better to feast on the turtle rather than to go hungry. The turtle's three friends became much worried to see his friend trapped by the hunter. They sat together to think of some plan to free his friend from the hunter's snare. The crow then flew high up in the sky and spotted the hunter walking along the river bank. As per the plan, the deer ran ahead of the hunter unnoticed and lay on the hunter's path as if dead. The hunter saw the deer from a distance, lying on the ground. He was very happy to have found it again. Now I'll have a good feast on it and sell its beautiful skin in the market, thought the hunter to himself. He put down the turtle onto the ground and ran to pick up the deer. In the meantime, as planned, the rat gnawed through the net and freed the turtle. The turtle hurriedly crawled away into the river water. Unaware of the plot of these friends, the hunter went to fetch the deer for its tasty flesh and beautiful skin. But What he saw with his mouth agape was that, when he reached near, the deer suddenly sprang up to its feet and darted away in the jungle. Before he could understand anything, the deer had disappeared. Dejected, the hunter turned back to collect the turtle he had left behind on the ground in the snare. But he was shocked to see the snare lying nibbled at and the turtle missing. For a moment, the hunter thought that he was dreaming. But the damaged snare lying on the ground was proof enough to confirm that he was very much awake, and he was compelled to believe that some miracle had taken place. The hunter got frightened on account of these happenings and ran out of the jungle. The four friends once again started living happily. Story: The Crow and the Water Pitcher. Long ago, there lived a crow in a jungle. Once he was wandering in search of water to quench his thirst. At last, he came flying over a village. There he saw a pitcher lying in front of a house. There was some water in it. The crow tried to reach the water, but couldn't succeed. The water level was too low in the pitcher. The crow began to think of some practicable device and finally came up with a bright idea. He looked around and found a pebble. He picked up the pebble in his beak and dropped it into the pitcher. The crow realized that the water level had risen a little. So he dropped more pebbles in the pitcher till the water level was high enough for his beak to touch it. The thirsty crow then drank the water to his heart's content and flew away.